Hello everyone, this is Colin on the ASCA League channel, and here we are for the last race of the Copperhead Amateur Series, and we come to a familiar track, Dover, Delaware, for the Dover International Raceway, and we're here with 28 drivers ready to go at it and try to win in this race, but there are 4 drivers trying to win something in particular, the championship trophy, the first one of the Copperhead Amateur Series season. And as we see, Logan Sanders, Garrett Snor, Jack Porkins, and August Eberhard are the only 4 drivers still left with a chance to win that trophy. As those 4 drivers come in here, the top 3 are incredibly close on points, so it's going to be a matter of finishing ahead of your competitors. On the front row, Conrad Cooper and Garrett Snor, one of those chasers. On the outside, row 2, Jake Baskinger and Chloe Baker. Row 3, Andrei Popov, a nice starting spot for him, and August Eberhard, another chaser. Row 4, Dan Klinick and Cam Gowdy, the highest part-timer in the field. Row 5, Megan Johnson and Davey Johnson, both of them are not related. Row 6, Nia Deverett and Jack Porkins, your third chaser, third in points. Row 7, Redders Rischel, not expected to return to the series, as well as Carson Bowers on his outside. Row 8, Zach Rain and Castle Radcliffe for Rickwood Racing, not expected to return to that ride. Row 9, your deepest starting chaser, Logan Sanders and Davey Johnson. Row 10, Brian Thompson and Max Stein. Row 11, Robert Harrison and Eric Monaco. Robert Harrison filling in for Cody Smart for this race. Row 12, Aiden Milliken and Alan Eberhard for Smart Motorsports. Row 13, a pair of Rickwood Racing Chevrolets, Patrick Curtis and Jake Rogers. And rounding out the field, Chris Dodd and Ryan Shelton, glad to make it in this last race. As the field comes off turn 4, the pace car is off, and the green flag is going to wave. Here we are for the season finale of the Copperhead Amateur Series at Dover. An impressive jump by Conrad Cooper to get the edge over chaser Garrett Snor. And just like last week at Memphis, Snor is falling back on the outside line. Remember, Snor actually qualified second at that race, but he did not fare very well on the outside, and in just a few laps, he was outside the top 5. And he does not want that to happen here today, because this is the race that matters the most. As we see him falling back, he will be able to slot in line in 4th, in front of any of his chase competitors. But unlike last week, where a lot of the chase competitors qualified up front near each other, this race has been completely different. Logan Sanders and Jack Porkins, as we see back here, are mired way back in the field, mid-15s, 20s in there, so they need to really try to gain some spots here and get going. As you see, Logan Sanders, he's found the inside line and he is starting to pull up towards the front, but Jack Porkins is still laying on the outside line behind Carson Bowers. That is not where he wants to be, and he's falling back. They've been struggling with the car handling all weekend, and it's a surprise because Jack Porkins ran so well here in the Pennzoil Pro Series, but maybe that's the reason why the handling's wrong, because he's used to being here in a Pennzoil Pro Series car. But looking back up front, it didn't take Snor long to get back to 3rd place, as he's going to find his way up inside the podium positions. And you see Jake Baskinger in front of him. He's going to move the 27 of Conrad Cooper up the track. An impressive run by Jake Baskinger, who has not showed too much speed this season. And his Starbucks Toyota is really working on the 27. However, Cooper is making it really difficult. But here comes Snor. Snor's going to make it 3 wide down into the corner. And I thought for sure that Baskinger was going to shut the door, but he did not, and he left it open. Oh, a little bit of contact coming off of turn 4 there. Baskinger into Cooper. Cooper's going to surrender the lead, and yeah, probably a good idea. You don't want to wreck your car this early in the race. Cooper is definitely one of the strongest cars here this weekend, but you see he's falling back really fast now on that outside line. And Garrett Snor, his 3-wide effort will pay off for him, as he's going to take the lead, and that's what he wants to see. He came in here 2 points behind Logan Sanders. For every position except the front 2, the gap is 1 point. So that's just 2 positions Snor needs to make up on Logan Sanders. If he can do that, he'll be the championship winner, as long as other people behind him don't make up a lot of points, such as this person, August Eberhard. 15 points back is the biggest deficit of any driver, and he's kind of a long shot, seeing as how you can only have 30 points be made up in a race. But for Eberhard, he's just trying to bring it home right now. He didn't really expect to win the championship coming into this race, but he wants to at least get as high as a finish as he can, at least finish out the year in a podium position. Well, here's one of his teammates, Robert Harrison. We talked about it in the starting grid that he filled in for Cody Smart, doing a pretty good job in that 88 car today. A pair of Melly Motorsports part-time teammates there of Carson Bowers and Aiden Milliken, as well as Jake Rogers, Patrick Curtis, and Alan Eberhard. A bunch of the part-time drivers did not fare well in qualifying against some of the full-timers, as most of the part-timers find themselves at the back of the field, like these 3 cars. But as for Ryan Shelton, you see in the 24 car, that team has made it to the track each weekend in super underfunded equipment. A big shout out to them because they are able to make it to the track each week. One time they wrecked their car in practice. They had to pull one out from another team's backup car just to be able to start the race. They did not qualify for that race, but it shows their determination and their will to continue on in the series. Definitely a good story to see him qualify for the last race. As for Sid Nor, you see him pulling away from the field a little bit. The 41 car of Baskinger in second, and Dan Klenick has worked his way up to the 3rd position. Conrad Cooper, your pole sitter, has fallen back to 6th. However, I believe he could probably make his way up. He's finally found the bottom of the track. However, Klenick, as you see, looks like he seems to be holding up that inside line just a little bit. All you have to do is move him to the outside. Another championship checkup here as we see the 83 car. He's been moving a little bit through the pack. I think I saw someone actually going down pit road there. It looked like an orange car, so I'm guessing that could be Alan Eberhard. And no, it's Jake Rogers in the 98 car. He seems to be having a problem under the hood. That will put his car 2 laps down. However, not out of the race, luckily, as they did a 4-tire adjustment. Oh, we have a caution on the track, and it's going to involve Carson Bowers. I didn't see any damage there, but I saw something fall off the 23 car, indicating that a car did make contact. It was someone coming by on the inside. But whatever contact there was, it's very minimal. So, well, Carson Bowers is going to have some right side damage from getting into the wall. We're going to see what happens here. He's going to get turned by his teammate, Aiden Milliken. They were battling for around the 20th position, and I didn't even see any contact at that angle. I believe the car that hit him was Eric Monaco, though. It's the Aiden Milliken. He was committed to the bottom side, and Bowers obviously looked like his spotter cleared him. It did not work out the way he wanted to. It seems like a racing incident, and by no means intentional, but definitely sad to see. Oh no, and this is a horrible sight to see. August Eberhard is going to have engine issues, and it was a long shot for him to win, but it looks like August's championship hopes are over, at least officially. As you see, as we're coming back to the green flag and to start this race again, we are halfway through the race, and now only 3 championship contenders remain. Garrett Sidnor trying to make it on the outside of the 98 car. Sidnor finds himself in the same spot that he found himself at the beginning of the race, trapped on the outside line. However, he's making it work a lot better. However, Jake Rogers is hanging in there. Rogers had something going on with the tire, is what we're being told. It's put him two laps down, but he still has a pretty quick car. And you see he's showing that right now as he's going to take the lead and get in front of Garrett Sidnor. Jake Baskinger, though, definitely wants to have a say at that. And look at Dan Klenick. He's almost going down the middle. However, Chloe Baker will back out. The 3rd line is not really recommended going down the front stretch. It can definitely lead to some tense moments. So a good decision by Baker to get out of there. But look at Logan Sanders. He's starting to make his way up through the field ever so gradually on that inside line. He's gotten a little bit of luck on these restarts, being able to get to the bottom side. And you see it's really working for him now. He's gone by like 4 cars in just a few laps. And that's going to move him inside the top 5 here. 3 wide again as Baker this time is back at the 20 of Klenick. And we saw at the just before the caution came out, Klenick seemed to be holding up that inside line. He managed to make it to 3rd, but whatever happened has happened, and he has fallen back. But we have a battle at the front of the pack again. It looks like Baskinger is back at the 37 car, and he's trying to go to the inside. And in a very impressive run by Baskinger, whose future is uncertain, he's definitely has not shown what the car is capable of. And definitely would like to get a good finish at the end of the season. But look at Jake Rogers out here, the other Jake in the field. He's starting to pull away from this as he's a lap down, but look at the speed he's showing. It's not that he has any fresher tires. Everyone came down to pit under caution, but he just seems to be loving the fresh air, and he's getting out there and really pulling away with that. As we're riding on board back in the field here, we're riding on board Jack Porkins in the 99 car. Jack, you see, he isn't too far off. He's actually started to make up some ground as well. He's going to look to the inside of Chloe Baker, and that was a strong dive into the corner. And he's starting to work his way up to the front as well. And this is not what Senor wants. Look at all of the ground that Senor had on Logan Sanders is now gone. As Sanders, whatever they did under that stop, his car is on fire. As he is now up to the 4th position, knocking on the top 3. He'll have to get by Andrei Popov, though, which he has, it looks like. As you see on the top of the screen, he has taken the 3rd spot. But look at Baskinger. Baskinger has gotten in front of Rogers, and now is just pulling away. And he is really setting the pace for the rest of the field right now with less than 20 laps to go. I don't think anyone else can catch him. Unless we have pit stops. I didn't really think of that. We might still have some pit stops. The last time they pitted was on lap 28, so that is definitely out of their window, even if you try to save. So I don't know. Maybe that's a possibility, but we'll have to see. Robert Harrison, you see running in the back of the pack here. He's actually made up the most ground out of any of the part-timers. I shouldn't say back of the pack. He's made it inside the top 10, so great run for him in that Ford. As we see, though, the championship battle has heated up. Senor, he had such a good run going. He had all of his chase competitors having bad days, at least when August Eberhard had an engine explode. But now it's all kind of gone up in smoke for Senor, because here is the 83 car of Logan Sanders right on his back bumper. And as it stands, Logan Sanders will win the championship by just 1 point. And that is a very close margin, and anything can happen. But I don't want to look too far back, because this car is coming too. He just ran the fastest lap of the day, faster than Jake Baskinger. The 99 car has found something, and he is coming in a hurry. He's in 5th place, running behind 4th place Zach Rain, who's actually also caught the front too. And you see, we actually have a big pack here forming. Rogers has kind of sucked back up to the 83 car. Rogers, I would say, get out of the way and let these guys race for the championship, but he's competitive enough that he could probably stay in front of these guys. Enough of those guys, though. Look at Baskinger's lead. This is almost a mirror image of what we saw last week at Memphis, with Jack Porkins just dominating the race. It looks like Clean Air is definitely going to help the 41 this week at Dover, because he has taken off. I don't think we've ever seen anywhere close to this amount of speed out of the 41 car, so it's definitely impressive to see him have it at the end of the year. Definitely shows that he does have talent, indeed, and that maybe he just hasn't had the best luck this year. But look at this. You see Logan Sanders and Garrett Senor fighting hard side by side, and that has brought the 9 and the 99 right to their back bumpers. And Rain and Porkins are going to choose the inside line, and they are going to push Garrett Senor past. And Logan Sanders is now going to fall victim to the 9 car. Officially, they are tied in points right now. The 37 and the 83 are tied. Jack Porkins, however, is 4 behind. He has 4 points to make up rather than Garrett Senor's 2. But either way, we are coming down to the end of the race, now with, I believe, 7 laps to go. As we see, we have 6 cars that lined up here, 2nd through 7th, all battling really hard. However, we have gotten radio communications that these drivers most likely will not be able to make it on fuel. We are going to have another pit stop at around lap 57, and that is going to definitely shake up the running order here, as we have a really good points battle going on here, as we see Jack Porkins trying to make another move underneath Logan Sanders. But now it's going to be coming down to a battle of pit strategy. Oh, and this is going to change up everything. Zach Rain is starting to pull away just a little bit from these 3 chasers. Senor currently in the lead, and he's tied with Logan Sanders on points as it stands. Jack Porkins currently 3 points back. And we see we have pit stops 2 laps earlier than expected for some of the back markers. We see a chaser, the 71 of Brian Thompson, no longer eligible, as well as the 2 Mally Motorsports part-timers. However, we have our leader now coming in on lap 56, Jake Baskinger in the Starbucks Toyota. He's had a dominating performance today. He cannot make a mistake here on pit road. No penalties for him, though, as we see the rest of the field coming out of the pits. Porkins is going to be able to get out in front of Logan Sanders, and that is 1 point made up on him, but he's going to have to hope that 3 cars get in between him and Logan Sanders in order to win the championship. There goes Baskinger. That's not a spot in between those two, as Baskinger will be able to get by. I don't see anyone else coming. It looks like Logan Sanders is going to fall in 3rd place as it stands. Rain, I believe, is in 4th. And Garrett Senor, I don't see. I believe he is somewhere just outside the top 5. But as we see, the white flag is in the air. And definitely a flawless pit stop on the 41 team. One of the strongest in that sequence of pit stops. And that's going to let him get out with an even bigger lead than he had before. But as we see, rounding the corners, Jake Baskinger, after a dismal season, is going to end it off on a sweet note with a victory. And Porkins is going to come home 2nd, Logan Sanders 3rd, Zach Rain 4th, and Garrett Senor 5th. Senor will be 4 points off of Logan Sanders, and I believe Jack Porkins will be 3. Meaning, I think we have seen our champion here. Logan Sanders was able to hold off Senor and Porkins, the 2 Red Stallion Racing drivers that were so strong, and I believe he has won the championship. As we see Jake Baskinger celebrating with hard-fought victory burnouts. But here we go, their champion officially, Logan Sanders, your 2016 Copperhead Amateur Series champion, and he parks it in the victory circle. Jake Baskinger also will be celebrating tonight with a huge win for him. That will be detrimental. Definitely for his chances of finding a new ride next season, with the awesome, dominating performance that we saw out of him today. August Eberhard, the chase that wasn't meant to be, he'll finish 28th with an engine issue. However, he was a long shot to begin with. But as we see, your point standings here, the official gap was actually 3 points for Porkins and 4 over Senor. Excuse me, I think I said 2 for Senor, but he actually gained 2 more on the 2 that he already had, so that's why he is 4 behind. Conrad Cooper will actually make his way up to 4th in points after beating August Eberhard on the track. He'll beat him by 8 points. And that is going to wrap up an astounding first season of the Copperhead Amateur Series. It was an exciting chase battle all the way through, but now we're going to have to say goodbye until next season, where the Copperhead Amateur Series will rejoin us for Season 2. Thank you all so much for watching. See y'all next season.